What's up, guys? So if you're just getting into modifying cars, or you've just bought the first car that you're interested in modifying, odds are you may not have much of a budget. You may also not know what you're doing. But a common question that I see is, what are some free or inexpensive mods that I can do to my car just to set it apart or just to get started? In this video, we're going to be focusing just on the Grand Prix and W body platforms. This is free or inexpensive mods for the W body platform. And number one is the U-bend delete. Right behind the catalytic converter on the older W bodies, there's a little U-bend that the oxygen sensor sits in. That's an exhaust restriction, and ZZP sells a kit that bolts in right there. You just have to cut that off, and you're going to have to weld. But even with that, probably can be done for less than $100, and supposed to be a pretty good modification. If you can't afford a downpipe, this is the way to go. Number two, for the supercharged guys, the next one is a lower temperature thermostat. The thermostat is right here on these engines. Super easy to get to. You can have this in and out yourself in just a few minutes, and a thermostat is a really inexpensive part to buy. Number three is flipping these dog bone mounts. Flipping the dog bone mounts tightens up the engine movement, makes the car more enjoyable to drive with only minimal vibration, and it's free. You can't hardly beat that price. This next one may not be for everyone, but a really easy modification to do if you need to do it, especially if your fuel pump resistor has failed and the car won't run because of it, is you can jump right in here, bend this little pin out of this particular relay, and bypass the fuel pump resistor, putting the fuel pump in full speed mode all the time. Another free modification that I have not done myself, but may be worth doing. Well, I did half of this myself, and that is another big issue with L67 cars is trying to get this heat out from under the hood. And there's normally a blanket, like a mat, that's attached to the bottom of the hood. I'll show you what that looks like over here with this one. And this is supposed to help keep the heat from the engine off of the paint, but it can be removed, which will allow some of that heat to soak through the hood and escape versus being trapped in here, as well as being able to just replace or remove this piece of weather stripping right here, which would allow air to get through here. Now, that can also allow water to get in, so do that at your own risk, but it's a free modification if you think you need it, so it's something that I wanted to include in this list. Another basically free mod, if you just want to clean up your intake a little bit, is you can go down and disconnect the lower EGR tube and put it back with a penny smashed in it to block it off. You can actually disconnect that end from the thing completely. Just block off where it attaches to the exhaust, leave the other part open so that when this opens, it pulls in fresh air instead of pulling in inert gas from the exhaust. It's just a pretty common mod on these. I haven't done it on this car because I didn't really think it was worth it. And on my project car, I actually went with a full EGR Delete. This is less free, but is very cheap. All you have to do, if you have a tuner, is buy the little block off plates for the EGR, block those off on both sides, and you can take the entire bracket out of the way. It really frees up engine bay space, and it doesn't cost much, but you do have to have a tuner, because if you don't, you will have check engine light come on for EGR codes. And for this list, my final just sort of cheap, useful modification is the addition of this alternator wire. You can make this yourself or buy it from ZZP. ZZP sells one pre-made with the ends on it and everything. I actually made this using some jumper cables, but all you need to do is put a ring terminal on this end, have the wire run across here, and attach it to the alternator. If you're not sure whether or not you need this mod, an easy way to find out is take a multimeter, check your voltage right here, check your voltage right here. If this is lower than this, you need this wire, because it means that between here and all the wiring that gets back to here, you're losing too much voltage. So once again, cheap and easy. And that was my list of cheap and easy modifications for W body platforms. Now, there are probably a lot more than this, and if you know some that I don't know, Drop them down in the comments. Let's get a thread together of every cheap, easy modification you can do. And that way in the future, new people coming into this platform have this to look at and figure out what they can and can't do. So drop me a like on this video, drop a comment, let me know what your cheapest or easiest modification on your car was. Make sure you're subscribed to the video or to my channel, and make sure that you have hit the notification bell icon so that they let you know when I upload. See you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.